'cause she has two ukuleles. Both are called Flamingo. Hey, these are both made by Emenee. This is week 2 of Emenee. This is week 2 of Plastic September. I'm so happy to see you. We're not doing the episode about plastic ukuleles yet. I got a special one for that. This is just something I want you to know. This is one of their big lines when they first started out. This is what they made their bread and butter with. All those guys coming back from the Second World War. Oh, I'm going to break it here before I even seriously restored those instruments. I'm going to end up breaking them because they're kind of brittle. But not really too brittle, because this Emenee company did a good job with their plastics. With the exception of this old dog behind me. I'm going to tell you a little story about how I acquired it. Right? At the flea market, I'm walking proud and strong like this. Right? And I see this guy has this on his table. And I just got that Emenee from last week. You know what I mean? Within days. You know what I'm saying? I paid $30 for it. Like, how much do you want for that toy? You know, because this is more like a toy. That's more like, this has got little pegs like those ukuleles. You know what I mean? It doesn't have real tuning keys. It has like, it's real like jokey. It doesn't even attempt to kind of look like a real guitar. You know what I'm saying? And the guy's like, oh, I want $20 for it. I was like, And I started looking at it just to check it out. Oh, $20 I'm not going to get. I already got one. Even though I'm doing plastic in September, I don't need it. You know what I mean? And then I noticed there was a little crack running through here. Right, and like, it's about to break right in half. And I pointed out to him. He's like, oh, shit, I didn't notice that. I said, well, what do you want to give me for it? I was like, I'll give you a fin. $5, buddy. And he's like, okay. I was like, oh, sorry for being a little bit negative in my mind. Gave him the $5 bill and I was out. You know what I mean? I got home. I was like, we need to learn a little bit more about Emenee's history. So I read about Emenee. I told you about they were established in 1949. And I want to tell you a little bit more. How did they end up in Bryan, Ohio? Well, it just so happens that 1968, there was a company called Ohio Art in Bryan, Ohio, who was, for the past 8 years, manufacturing something called the Etch-a-Sketch. All right, so they were definitely, you know what I mean? You know, there were nothing really. Kids back then, they used to stare at the sun. The kids had no toys back then. You know what I'm saying? Other than this kind of stuff. And if you had no musical abilities, Etch-a-Sketch, like, oh, I made a square. How come I can't make a triangle? You know what I mean? Etch-a-Sketch, many years, you know what I mean? And when they start getting old, all that silver aluminum powder came out, you rub in your face. And no, that never happened. Ever. So anyway, they purchased the company. They moved them down to, you know what I mean, to Bryan, Ohio. And I believe they had a facility they used to make sketch parts called, I believe, Stridell. I believe that was in Stryker, Ohio, I believe, from my research. And Emenee moved over there. They left Brooklyn. And, you know, they kept actually making stuff under the Emenee name until 2004, when Ohio Art pretty much, you know what I mean, they sold the rights to whoever to make Etch-a-Sketch in China, wherever it's made now, man. That's the end of the American story, the dream for Emenee. So I'm going to flip you around. We're going to look at this beautiful, look at these guys, their little sock hop and their little bebop car. And this guy's got his little toy time guitar, man. We're going to enjoy it together like a family does. You know what I mean? Because that's what families do. You know, that's what we fucking do. Right? So, give me 2 shakes. And I'll be on the slab. Ready? Just 2. 1, 2. Here we go, man. Look at those graphics. Look at that cool ass shit, man. See that? It's pretty. See, this was like crazy on it. Crazy wacko. Crazy wagon. Go, man, go. He's got a fine broad on his side. This guy's dancing the night away. Most of the Emenees have this thing just like that one we did last week. See that? It's fine ass broad. This guy wearing a fucking trench coat. Anyway, it's just cool, man. It's a toy, though. You know what I mean? Once you get the headstock, you know it's a toy. So we're going to have to source one of these fucking things somehow. You know what I'm saying? But the big bucking drag of all drags, man, and I told you about it, is this big crack. You see that? Oh. Oh, it's like gore for any guitar lover. Let's see it again, man. You didn't show it that good. Sorry, man. My hand was in front of the flash, man. I don't mean to mess up your concentration. So, let's go into the lavaretto. Let's take these strings off. It's like a very light gauge. I think like most of them are here. I don't know if they're in the right order. Look like they're in the right order. I don't know what the hell they're doing here. I don't even know how I want to string this fucking thing. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Let's stabilize this crack and let's, put some kind of strings on here and jam it out and laugh and have a good time, right? You know what I'm saying? That's all we can do. I'll see you in the laboratory. Right, Toots? That's right. Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. Right? You're a good broad. You got a nice future. Listen to what you told, all right? What? You misogynist. Welcome back. It's a laboratory. I think he got a quaalude, man. He's all fucking slow, man. So, this guitar really is like fucked up, bro. Fucked up. Fucked up, man. Lost my head, man. It's like a Muppet. You know what I'm saying? It's like 2 centimeters away from garbage. So, I want to sort of make a little running theme on this plastic month. All of our repairs, pretty much every episode this month, with the exception of next week. This particular glue, which we opened last week, has sort of solidified a little bit better now. It's become a little bit more gel-like. Not too much more gel-like, but a little bit more gel-like. So we're going to take these strings off, and we're going to pump this guy, and we're going to set it up against some books, and we're going to lean it on there and all that. So first I'm going to show you, the setup right when we get all these strings off. We want to take the strings off. I'll see you there right after the strings come off, man. What? Right. See you in a minute. Alright, so we got the strings, the pegs off, right? The bridge came off, of course. And when that happened, I noticed something I didn't see before because the bridge covered it. The guitar is a lot more fucked up than I realized. Look at all the cracks. See the cracks? There. Yeah, now you see it, right? So, I don't even know if we're going to be able to really fix this. I mean, that's... Maybe look at it from this angle. It's pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty grave. But we'll try our best. First thing we want to do, we want to prop it up against some books here and put it like a weight down. Just dump a lot of glue in here and here. And there's another crack here, right? Isn't that pleasant? Isn't that fucking pleasant? Where they just put a lot of glue in there. Take a little block, put it here, put a pipe clamp down there. There's a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? A lot of work involved in this. First we'll set the pipe clamp, and then we'll set this. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. That's some crazy stuff. So I'll show you when we're all, situated and clamped down. You know what I'm saying? We'll put a piece of wax paper over the, We'll put a little block in here. Push that in. It's gonna be a monster, man. It's filthy dirty too. What I get myself into. So we got the Emenee, 2 for inside of a 4 for plastic September. Rolling on it. Sure, when we're all clamped up. Yeah, you talking to me? I'm talking to you. What? Yes, that's quite preponderous, man, isn't it? Oh, God. Don't try this at home, folks. It's almost teen time down the trash, man. But I think I did a pretty good job, actually. I think it's going to hold like a bowl told, man. So, let's let it sit like that for about a half hour, not like go near or breathe on or sneeze near it. And I'll see you after we've taken all of our friends off. an hour or so. I'm going to let it set. I put a lot of glue on here, and then when I was done putting the glue on, I put this pipe clamp on, I put more glue in, I put more glue in. Lots of glue on there. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you in another second. There we go, man. So we're unclamped. Couldn't have done a better job, people. Came out splendidly. I'm very pleased with it. This is my maybe a little wonky, but I mean, it really came out so well, beyond my expectation, and it's real sturdy. It's extremely sturdy. You know, that original Dow type early plastic, the styrene plastic. I mean, that's what the original sort of super glue, crazy glue was designed to bond to, honestly. So it works the best with this early stuff, man. Works good with a lot of other stuff, you know, modern stuff, but this is like, you know. So we got this guy here. That's really the crucial thing, sort of. You know, the only other, you can really see the damage. It's hard to sort of photograph what I'm trying to tell you, but it's really sort of sunken in a little bit. This is a real sort of, it's going to be pushed out a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to get a good angle on it, but I've tried like several times. You know, just sort of focusing the phone on it. I just can't, you know what I mean? I turn the phone on and it looks like it's not really that bad. But like when I'm examining, I'm like, oh man, this is really messed up, man. And that's really messed up. The phone makes everything look a little better, you know what I mean? That's why people like taking selfies. The ugly motherfuckers walking around. Look at me, this is in front of the laboratory, you know? Anyway, let's get that like all pulled out, you know, a little screwdriver maybe, you know, and try to, you know, get it glued up in a nice manner. See in a moment. And that's even more rigged up than the last time. Look at that. It's crazy as shit. So I got my medieval clamp, my favorite big old clamp, pushing it down on this little block of wood. That's like higher than the strap button hinge. You know, so it came out and it was flush, but I just couldn't get this side over here flush unless I pushed it with my finger. So I quickly grabbed a Burger King grade glove, threw it on my hand. In my other hand, I grabbed a little pinch of this baking soda. While I was pushing it in there with the Burger King glove on, because I didn't want to, you know, plastic solder in my hand, you know what I'm saying? I just sprinkled it on there very liberally, and it instantly hardened all the crazy glue. You know what I'm saying? Hardened it up, stopped the cure process, and it's in a wonderful state now. You know what I mean? It's probably ready to go now. I'm going to let it set another 10 minutes, though, just to even drive it home, man. Just make sure we're all totally hardened. Totally hardened there. Hardened arteries. You know what I'm saying? See this? See that? That was missing on our little thing last week. You know what I mean? It was missing, man. If all else fails, we can just take that off this guitar and like put it on the one from last week. You know what I mean? We'll have like a number one. I'm just kidding with you guys. Let's get this guy, like, you know what I mean, cured out. And I'll pull it off this big thing. You know what I mean? And we'll talk about it once this is totally, 1,000%. It's probably already ready to go, but give it another 10 minutes. See you then. All right, folks. So now we're perfect up to speed on the structural trip, man. Everything is 1,000%. Most of this will be covered up with the tailpiece anyway. So now that that's accomplished, let's get down with a cosmetic groove, man. Let's try to sand this down without breaking the patina, really. You know what I mean? Try to get it real nice for the people. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to clean this up a little. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? I'm shining light at it. I mean, you can barely even really see it. But we want to, you know what I'm saying? Get it all nice for the people. I mean, up here we'll just this little nip sort of sticks out, so we'll just hit that out with a little piece of steel wool. I mean, with some oil on it. Yeah. All right, I'll see you in a moment when this is all fernied out, friend. All right, so we got all the brakes all cosmetically restored. You know what I'm saying? We're done with the cosmetic restoration. Now it's just time to really clean it. Take a look here. I mean, when the major neck crack was, we got it polished up. This one, we just really needed a little bit of steel wool, some oil sanding. You know what I mean? 800 grit, 1200 grit, polishing rubbing compound on the neck crack here. we started a little bit heavier. We went with like a 200, on the block. We had to do a little bit of steel wool oil. You know what I mean? The polishing the rubber compound really made the plastic, gleam again. So it looks good, man. So what we got to do now, because we're almost pretty much done with this turkey. We want to clean this fucking thing off. Look how dirty it is. How are we going to clean it off? Well, I don't know how these little, this could be like color by, color by number paint, who knows, what I'm saying? I don't want to fuck it up. I want to just try to get in here with some water, maybe a little bit of like soapy water, mild, warm, soapy water, you know what I mean? And just do it very carefully. See if we can get this totally clean and nice for the people. You know what I mean? This seemed pretty resilient in here, you know what I mean? But I don't know about the rest of the color transfer. Let's get it all cleaned up and I'll see you then. I'll show you how we did it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's... Alright, look at this. Get it now. Get it now, man. Get it now. Isn't that great? It's just a little bit of cleaning. Just a little bit of cleaning, a little elbow grease, man. Great. Looks great. For something that was just about to fall apart. You know what I'm saying? You come a long way, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, we're almost ready to, get this guy on there. See if some of this has come off. Let's try to put a little bit of, I don't know, furniture marker, paint marker, acrylic paint, something. Let's try to cover that up a little bit. Clean this up a little bit. I'll see you there. See that? Looks so much better now. Looks so much more classy. A little bit of this can't even really tell, you know what I'm saying? It looks like had a bad day. So we have most of the original strings. Looks like the B string was replaced, a while ago. We can still salvage that B string they're using. It's a weird sort of gauge, very, very light kind of gauge that they've got going here. The E string, the big E string, the thick E string actually looks like a light tension A string. And looks like the D string seems to be like a heavy tension G string, and then there's a light tension G string. There's a heavy tension B string, a light tension B string. We got like a nice little regular E string out of the floor pile, and the pile of strings on the floor. Oops, just knocked it on the floor. Anyway, here are the 5 tuners that are remaining. I'm going to use a regular old ukulele tuner for the high E string, string number 1, right? And we're going to use that because that's the hardest one to kind of do, you know what I mean? If anybody out there Googles this instrument, you know what I mean? Because they're looking to sort of, restore theirs or what have you. And they're also missing a tuning key and they happen to have a, 3D printer. Hey, man, drop me a line, bro. You know what I mean? Get Kid Abides, man. We'll make a part 2. And if you make your own video, man, you know what I'm saying? You'll be a big star just like me. Hit me up, man, if you could do a digital printer. Wouldn't that be cool, man? I don't know much about that kind of thing now. I'm a little bit behind the times. Let's get it strung up. I'll see you in the glamour shots, right? 1, oh no, 2, no, 3. Oh, there we go, man. Very interesting. Wow. 4 of those strings are original. You know what I mean? One of them was replaced 40 years ago. One of them was just replaced right now. The string possibly even 40 years ago. I'm sitting on my floor for at least 10 years. If this becomes like one of those things that I like a lot, I might replace all these tuners. You know what I'm saying? Sell these on eBay. But seems to work very, very well. Extraordinarily well. Look how beautiful this thing is. I'll show you. I forgot to show you, man. Beautiful it is. Look at that. You know what I mean? That's a very old piece of plastic, man. You know what I mean? This is from like, the mid 50s. Early 50s, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's like Marty McFly time. You know what I mean? Mighty fine, nice underwear you got there, Calvin. I was checking out your junk when you were sleeping. Oh, Ma, I thought it was a dream. I felt all good. Now I feel bad.
What? Marty, that's incredible. Why don't you let me film it? With your new film studio you have here. We could sell it at the swap meet.
Well, Doc, I mean, it's my mom, man. I mean, it's kind of not cool. It's like private, bro.
Nonsense, Marty. Why don't we try it, you and me? I'll be your mom, and you be Marty. Now take down your pants. What?
Let's hear this fucking thing, man. Let's hear it.
You know, say, peace be with you, always and forever.
The Emenee Teen Time. Tell you what I remember about getting it. Well, I'll tell you exactly what I know. Christmas morning, 1956. Mom and Dad were all hungover, half asleep in the bed. Papers and wrappings lay all around me. As I unopened the cellophane package, I strummed the chord and said, "Where's that hitch pipe?" The strings were like something I'd never experienced before. Half chintzy ukulele, half serious instrument. Chintzy ukulele, a little bit more like it. But it was 1956. My parents were both working at the factory full time. And my dad had a terrible gambling debt. And he's always saying, "I have to go down to the laboratory. I gotta see Vito." And Mom would say, "You dumb drunk." Santa Claus didn't forget about me, though. And my beautiful new teen time instrument was almost in tune. I borrowed my friend's guitar, which was a much nicer instrument because his parents weren't losers. Every day we had TV fucking dinners, and this was my time to shine. And there was one song I knew how to play. And once I got the instrument in tune, and I checked all the chords and made sure that all positions sounded good. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never gonna rob me, and you ain't no red of mine. I thought you was high class, sister full of lie. Say you was high class, you're so blind. Hey man, 50s gem man, working again. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? This thing was about to fall apart. Plastic weld, man. It's gonna make the month of September a little bit more lightheaded for you. Peace be with you. We'll see you next week. Try to give you a little break in the activities. I got a special thing lined up for you. One of those exotic kind of, you know what I'm saying, Americana instruments, man. Oh no. Plastic,